The practice of building retaining walls has been around for thousands of years. The newest retaining wall systems are composed of segmented blocks that interlock, with no need for mortar. Many of these systems enable you to finish a project that will look complicated and professional, while the actual work involved is fairly simple. After selecting your retaining wall system, the first step in constructing is to measure the wall's layout using stakes and string to mark the course. Remove all surface vegetation and debris. This material cannot be used as backfill. Dig the base trench to the designed width and depth of your block system. Retaining wall systems differ greatly in block size and design, so follow the manufacturer's installation instructions to the letter. Then, level the excavated base pad, starting at its lowest point. Next, place, level, and compact a layer of base rock to support the first course of block. The base rock can be gravel, road base, or crushed rock, 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Typical base fill is about 6 inches deep. This allows the wall to flex slightly with the ground movement. Tamp this down with a hand tamper. If building a long wall, you may opt for a motorized walk-behind compactor available at most equipment rental outlets. The key to a successful retaining wall is ensuring a level foundation course of block. The dimensions of the trench will depend on your system, but the first course of block must be below ground level so the surrounding soil will secure it in place. If you're building into a slope, you may have to dig the foundation in a series of steps equal to the height of the blocks. Then, as you install the blocks, build up the lower sections until the stepped areas are level. Starting at the lowest point of the trench, place the first layer of blocks on top of the compacted base, according to your system's design and instructions. For example, some blocks may feature a front lip that must face up and forward. Place the blocks closely together, checking the level and align of each block. For straight walls, use a string line along the back of the course to ensure that the blocks are flush. Use a rubber mallet to fine-tune or tap into place the blocks. After the base course is level and in place, create a drainage zone behind the units, inside all the voids between the blocks, using 1.5 to 3/4 inch clean crushed gravel. Again, check the manufacturer's guidelines regarding drainage specifications. Some blocks feature rear voids to accept rock to create the drain field. The depth of the drain field will also depend on the size of the intended wall. Then use on-site soil to fill the area behind the drain field. Also fill in the gaps in front of the base blocks. For backfill soils, avoid using soft clays or spongy organic solids, which won't properly compact and will settle after construction. Use a compactor or tamper to compact the wall, the drain field, and the area directly behind the drain field. Make the first compaction pass directly over the wall. Then compact parallel to the wall, continuing the process until the soil no longer settles. When finished, sweep off any pebbles or debris so the next course of blocks will rest evenly on the base course. Install the next course of blocks with an offset or stagger from the course below. A 3-inch stagger is typical in many systems. This should ensure that the block's vertical seams do not directly line up, adding structural integrity to the wall. You may need to cut the first block of the second course in half to achieve the necessary offset. Level and align this course, adjusting where necessary. Again, fill the drain field with drainage rock and use on-site soil to fill the area behind the drain zone. Compact the wall, drain field, and backfill as with the first course. Before laying the third course, most tall walls will require reinforcement. Manufacturers often supply a flexible reinforcement grid with the system. A typical wall is reinforced every 2 courses. After sweeping the surface of the course, roll out the grid behind the wall with the edge of the grid against the front edge, or lip, of the block. Place the third course on top of the grid, pull the grid tight to remove any slack, and shake the grid into place. Repeat this process, installing additional courses, adding drainage rock and backfill, and compacting appropriately until you've reached the desired height of the wall. Sharp curves and half units may require cutting the blocks with a masonry cutoff saw to achieve the appropriate angle to form the curve. Cutoff saws are usually available at most equipment rental outlets. When placing the reinforcement grid along the curved walls, the grid should follow the back of the block. Slit the grid with a utility knife and either feather it outward or overlap its edges to follow the curve. Several systems feature blocks with voids. These hollow blocks are just as strong as the solid blocks, but lighter for easier installation. When the voids are filled with drainage rock or gravel, the rock permits water to drain to prevent hydrostatic loads. At the same time, the gravel fill actually helps interlock the blocks. Optional capstones can also be installed along the top course to give the wall a neat finished look. Remember your leather gloves. Be safe, and thanks for watching.